please welcome to the stage our first storyteller for The Sins of the Father, Dane Heiser.
Now, my dad is great. Very relatable, easy to talk to and get on with. We can talk about movies and music and go to comedy shows and just hang out as friends, which is great. And my dad does what he can to do his best in his own way for his family. Although sometimes his good intentions don't always work out. My dad is what you like to call a young dad. He likes to keep fit, dresses like a teenager and listens to Triple J. The #1 youth radio station in the country. He's 55. Mum likes to refer to Dad in a family of 4 children as the 5th child. One sign of age though, he does sadly wear Crocs. But no one's perfect. Now, this won't surprise many of you, but as a kid, I wasn't exactly the brave renegade soldier I am today. In fact, I was a bit of a wuss, a bit of a scaredy cat. So much so that as a kid, I had nightmares after seeing He-Man Masters of the Universe, the Dolph Lundgren action classic. I had nightmares that Skeletor, the bad guy, was going to break into my house at night, creep through the walls with his minions, and kidnap me in the middle of the night. I couldn't take it was just too much. In fact, a few years later, I had to be removed from the cinema in tears during a key scene in Superman 4, when the nuclear bad guy was shooting up past the building to get Superman and Lois and totally ruin their day. And I just couldn't take it. The stress was too much. I had to get out of there quickly. In fact, also as a kid, I was petrified of Santa. I know, the big fat guy in a red suit that rides the reindeer and cruises into your house at night. I have no idea why, but I was. In fact, so much so that in a shopping centre, when I caught Santa out of the corner of my eye, way on the other side, I just bolted in the other direction. I just ran. Sadly, it was straight into a pylon, which admittedly wasn't great, but on the plus side, I didn't have to see Santa that day. In fact, that day, I couldn't see. With this in mind, I had to go to a water fun park with my family, and in typical fashion, I was scared to go on the big slide. And who can blame me? This thing was freaking huge. Seriously, we went to climb up a slide. I reckon it took about 2 days to climb. We got up to the top, and it was so high that I swear I could see a businessman in a plane eating a lasagna. It felt like I was on top of Mount Doom from Lord of the Rings. I didn't know whether to go down the slide or throw a ring. I just wasn't sure. Anyway, with all this in mind, Dad saw that I was stressed, and he said, "Look, Dane, it's okay. It's all right. Look around you. Can you see there's a little girl, a little 3-year-old girl going on the slide? She's fine. There's a grandmother going on the slide. She's going down okay. There's a handicapped person going on. They're going down fine. So if a young girl, a cripple and a geriatric can go on the slide, you'll be fine." So I went, "That still doesn't really ease me, Dad. That doesn't really work." I said, "Okay, how about this? I'll go on with you and you'll see that's not that big and scary. Okay, all right? Now wipe away those tears and grow some hair, you touchy emotional freak." So Dad sits down on the slide and I sit down between his legs, safe in the warm, comforting arms of my father, secured from all the dangers in the world, and almost forgetting that we were 50,000 freaking feet up in the air. But none of that mattered. I was safe and secure. I was fine. And then we push off ever so gently from the slide and start plummeting down the tube at a rate that I don't think was normal. Bang, bang, bang. Our heads bounced off the side of the tube like marbles being sucked into a vacuum cleaner. It felt like we were in a washing machine going down a hill. We shoot out the bottom, a mess of arms and legs and blood. I tell you, I think it would have been less traumatic if Dad had sent me down with a live pig. But he tried. Dad, you tried, and well done. Now, my dad is a triathlete, and as you can see, it does run in the family. And he's a big believer in, what's the word? Sport. Big believer in sport and tip of my tongue, fitness. Yeah. Big believer in sport and fitness. And that hasn't always rubbed off on me. In fact, my fitness is at a level where I consider high-fiving to be a contact sport. In fact, I had the strength and fitness of a 3-year-old girl who's eaten nothing but cupcakes and cheese. With that in mind, Dad went to a sports shop after triathlon one day to buy me a shirt and make me, well, a little less of a girl. He comes home and is really excited to give me this gift, right? It's a tennis shirt. And that excitement rubs off of me because I've gone, here Daddy has done something to show me that he loves me, cares for me, is updating my wardrobe. I think that's great. That's really good. So I go into my room to try it on. I try it on and I think, geez, it's pretty good. It's a little bit long, but it's pretty good. I come out to show the family, and they don't exactly share my dad's enthusiasm. In fact, my sister couldn't even look me in the eyes. She just shook her head, stared at the ground, after a long, awkward pause, said the words I'll never forget. Dad bought your tennis dress. I looked down and yep, it was a dress. A full-on white with green pleats Monica Seles style tennis dress. Now, the fact that Dad couldn't tell the difference between a shirt and a dress, that's not the point. The fact that I couldn't tell the difference between a shirt and a dress, that's not the point. Although it does raise questions. What is the point is that Dad tried. And 10 points for trying, Dad. 10 points for trying. Actually, you know what? 10 love, big fella. 10 love. I'm sorry, but it's hard not to get emotional when talking about that lycra-wearing, leg-shaving, croc-wearing freak. Dad, happy Father's Day, and you're a saint to me and your sins are much fewer than your wins. Thank you.
Dane Heiser and Dad Heiser's here too. Big applause.